And you know, I just think this is truly disrespectful. Just the disrespect, for the simple fact, before I started my containers, I spent like an hour and a half weeding. And I'm thinking to myself, let's work together. You want to kill something and eat on some roots? Eat those weeds that I just spent an hour and a half doing. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So today we are going to plant up our fall containers. Let me tell you, I went to the garden center and they were putting out some plants fresh off the truck. So I grabbed them because I knew if I went back next week, they may not look as beautiful, but I am going to hold myself accountable. I'm not going to let them sit in the pot for too much longer. I still come out here and water them because they're so pretty, but I want to go ahead and get them planted. Now, a lot of people ask me, do I change my potting soil every time I change containers or put new plants in? And the short answer is it depends. With this, we are going to change it because let me show you what I have been pulling out, and then I'll tell you what makes me decide if I won't change it. But let me show you what I found. So I am zooming in, and this pot was infested with grubs all over the place. After about the 20th one, I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to start over with fresh soil because grubs eat on the roots of your plants. And it makes total sense because about a month and a half ago, I was saying to myself, I said, oh, my plants look like they're dying. And I would come out here and check the container because we do have, this is a self-watering container. And if you can see, like we've had the dots, I make sure they're filled up. And then I even did a second measure is I put my finger down in here and I was like, yep, it is nice and moist. Well, it makes sense because the grubs were eating on the roots of my plants and killing them. So I have to pull this because I know with so many in there, if I put my new fall plants in there, they will do the same. So the answer to whether I change out my soil each time, I do an assessment just like I did. Now, a lot of times I always start out with a fresh new potting soil in the spring, and then in the fall, just depending, I might keep it in. But what I do is I take off the first couple of layers, give it some plant food again, and give it some nutrients again, and we plant our containers, and then we'll freshen it up again or start new in spring. But I cannot do that. I cannot risk those beautiful fall plants that I'm about to show you being eaten by these grubs. So I'm going to sanitize my containers real good and put new potting soil in there so that it will have a fresh and healthy start. So yes, this time I have got to change this soil. So I just want y'all to look at this. I've just started with the new container, and you know, I just think this is truly disrespectful. Just the disrespect, for the simple fact, before I started my containers, I spent like an hour and a half weeding. And I'm thinking to myself, let's work together. You want to kill something and eat on some roots? Eat those weeds that I just spent an hour and a half doing. I mean, it's just really disrespectful for me, for them to come in, set up shop in my containers and really think they could just live here without me saying anything. So yeah, let me go ahead and get finished with this. I've already washed out the first container we started at and rinsed that and sanitized it real good. But now I just started digging into this and I'm like, just straight disrespectful. The disrespect, the nerve. Well, okay, let me finish. Okay, y'all, so it is the very next day. By the time I got finished shoveling all of the soil out of both pots and sanitizing it real good, dragging the bags up front to the trash, I knew it was time for me to take a break. So this is the very next day. But what I want to really show you a picture of on why grubs are not good for your garden is because eventually they turn into beetles. which I'm quite sure some of you have seen around your garden, but they're not good to have in the garden because, again, the grubs are eating on the roots of your plants, and you're wondering why you the plant is not doing good, and it's because they're underneath. So that's something we definitely don't want, and we definitely don't want to keep reusing that type of soil because you're going to keep getting the same results each and every time. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to plant today, and then I'm also going to show you what I picked up. I can't find anywhere, but I will look online to see if I can locate it again. So I have used the Pro Mix before, but I've never bought it in the compressed pack. But this is a potting soil that I really love using, and I've seen good results with this. The problem is they only had one left. And when I tell y'all I looked around, but I could not find any more. So I will probably go online to see if I can locate some more. So this is what we're going to use in our containers. Now I'm going to flash up a couple of pictures of the thriller that I'm looking for, but again, it's still kind of hot and our garden centers haven't put out all of the fall winter plants. But let me tell y'all, when I saw these and when I saw them putting them out, I said, okay, let me go ahead and get it right here, right now. If this does not scream fall, and we're just going to do a traditional fall color scheme for our pots, but I just thought the variation of these colors were so freaking pretty. I just love them, and it just immediately drew my eye. So we're going to put one of each in the containers, but they are so pretty. And then we found some mums that were on sale as well, and we're just going to put them in there. And the reason why I want to go ahead and get them in, because sometimes I pick up plants and I'm known to let them stay in the pots, but these look too pretty and too healthy to continue to let them stay in these pots. We want to get them planted and get them growing. But again, I'll show you what I am using just kind of as a filler until I get exactly what I'm looking for. So we're going to leave a little bit of space in these containers today. So here we have our container just to start off fall with. As I was putting everything together, I think some creeping Jenny would probably be nice to come over here, but then I also want that thriller to come up as well. So what I did was I had these, like, I do a lot of off-season shopping, and it was this little set, like this, that I found at our local grocery store. I think they had marked it down to $2, so I said those are fall like. And then I had some pumpkins to just kind of fill up the space until we can get our plants that we're really looking for. But I still think it turned out really nice. It definitely looks like fall to me. Y'all comment below and let me know if it looks like fall to you. But again, I am definitely going to keep an eye on these this time. I feel like I was totally disrespected by the grubs. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and probably start doing a weekly application of the Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT, just so that we won't get any bud worms right here, because it's still a little hot and humid, and they can come back. I know that fall is a season where I love more than any other season because we have less pest pressure, but until it really gets like fall weather, I'm just going to do some preventative maintenance so that we don't have a whole bunch of pests. And so as always, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you are not a subscriber, we will absolutely love to have you as a subscriber. So make sure you tap that bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.